Hi guys, I'm standing here on the road that walks down here towards the lake. On that side of me, on the right side of me, there is the forest. On the left side of me there is my home. Well, also forest, but it's a bit of a walk, and then my home is there. And today's going to be another interesting experiment. I don't know exactly what the time is, but if all is well, it should be visible on the film itself. It's actually, yeah, it's almost 12:30 at night. And you have seen in earlier films, I think 2 of my earlier films, which are called Bush Navigation 1 and 2, that I found a little tree which had a shagger and some razor strap fungus on. And at that point I actually explained to you that I found that by taking in almost subconsciously some things in the landscape, like the weird trees and stuff, and it doesn't really matter from which angle you come. Now it's perfectly pitch dark, so the experiment is, can I find it now? The tree is about 1.5 kilometers, maybe 1.5–2 kilometers from here, straight through the forest, and the visual element is absolutely gone now. There's no way I can find this thing on visual clues. So it's actually training 2 things. It's basically that, and there is also the problem of having to walk through the wilderness in pitch dark. There are ways of doing that really safe. All that is grouped into the discipline that I call nature awareness. Also the finding of it, basically that is also part of tracking. So yeah, I'm going to try that and see how we fare. The forest is that way. Maybe hard to see. You see here, this is the end of the road, and here I'm going through the ditch straight into the forest here. So I'm going to put the camera off and come back to you in a few minutes and see how we're doing. Right. Well, I'm a few minutes further on now. This is really weird. I don't see anything. You see somehow the lichen that we have is pretty white, and you see patches of that on the ground. You don't see all the trunks and lying trees so easily. But what is really strange is that I haven't tripped on anything yet. Well, that's not strange, but that can be perceived strange for somebody who is trying to imagine to walk in here. Sorry that I'm squinting so much, but this light is so so bright from the camera. So that is part of the nature awareness thing, that you learn to walk in wilderness without actually eyesight. And do that safely, because you get a feel of that. You don't bump into trees, you don't trip on stuff. Somehow you feel where you put your feet and where you have to put your feet. You also feel how the terrain is changing under you. Like if you're walking down a slope or up or slanting on one, or instead of mainly going on visual cues, you're now doing that on other kind of cues. But your balance, all your senses are at work. The only one that is really somehow handicapped today, that is the visual sense. So I'm just walking here on a feeling and on a general direction that I know these things are. And in about maybe a minute or 5 or 10, I have to start change that mode into really going to find this one tree, because like you see, there is trees here, and you probably won't see them if they're not really close. Like here you have one. But it's just basically complete blackness. And in that blackness I am going to find a little tree that has chaga and razor strop fungus. It's a bit warm too, I'm sweating a bit. Another very interesting thing is that maybe I missed that slightly, but I think actually tonight and in the coming nights you have these meteorite showers, and I've seen quite a lot of meteorites already. So that's interesting. Well, I'm going to wander on a bit and get back to you when I'm really starting to track the specific tree. So from this moment on I'm going to try and find this tree in a straight line from here in the direction that I think that it is. And I have to emphasize that the direction that I think it is nothing now to do with the sun or with my compass, or there is no such thing. I have nothing like that with me, and it's completely dark. So this is just a feeling. I'm going to follow it and see what happens. So guys, you have no idea how strange it feels to just go into these woods here without a compass, without anything. It goes against everything I teach, really. Sorry, I'm a bit it's a bit warm and I'm really concentrated on this, so it's pretty tiring. It actually sucks the energy from you. Shit, what was that? Yo, bear! Heard something there. Yeah, that's the other thing, you don't want to go stalking about in these woods in the middle of night. There's lots of animals here. Well, whatever it is. I'm feeling that I'm getting really close. I think that we are not more than 30-40 meters, maybe even less, away from it. That would be very strange, because that means that all the time that I did it in the other movies, I would have taken quite a big way around to get there, because it feels like I haven't walked that much yet. But you know what, I will keep the camera on, but I will put the light off because I don't want to see anything, and I'll just keep the camera on while I'm making my way towards the tree, I hope. Yeah, I'll do that. So, now the light is off, I'm going to but the display is still on, of course, so I'm seeing nothing but the display. Well, not that it makes a lot of difference, because I don't see anything anyway. Sorry guys, I had to stop that a bit, because whatever it was actually still there. I heard a few birds flying off in the trees there, and I heard some twigs. So I need to make my presence here known, and yo, bear! Well, whatever it is, it's quiet now again. That kind of breaks my concentration a bit. But I will get back to that. Because I'm really close now. Been standing here a while listening for whatever it might be. I think it's a moose or something. Well, okay, let's get into this again. So I'll put the light off and continue. So, nice green spots everywhere in front of my eyes, but who cares? It's not about the eyes, this. Here is a tree. This is a tree. This must be the tree, guys. Put the light on. This is a pine. It was a birch. Oh wait, there's a birch. Oh my god. Alright. Here you see, this is the shagger. So where's the razor strop? It must be on this side. There it is. This is unbelievable. I found the tree, guys. This is where you see both the things. I have to, of course, check that with the film. The other two films. I could check it now because there were some things, right? There is like a statue-like root system somewhere. Yeah, here it is. I'm at the right place. This is so awesome. Yeah. And there was a gnawed off, scraped off by moose pine, a little pine. Yeah, this is it. And when I found it the other times, I always used a strange birch that had 4 or 5 trunks that were on an angle. What the hell is that one? There it is. Awesome. Well, that's a hit. It's confirmed. I have no idea how this feels. It's completely awesome. In the middle of the dark, middle of the night, you find one tree. You can walk around here without falling. I haven't tripped, I haven't bumped into trees. I just walked around. And not only that, all the other times when I went to this place, I obviously took a huge way round because this was way faster. Man, I'm so stoked. I'll turn you off for a while. I have to process this a bit, then I'll come back. So, how do you describe something like that? Well, actually, this is actually the same thing as when we do Meet a Tree. And that is one of the nature awareness games we do on nature awareness courses. Of my dogs. One of the dogs who wants to get the other dogs with him howling. That would be eerie in the middle of night here. Because we're only about... Apparently we are only about maybe 800 meters, kilometer from the gourd. You hear them? Isn't that awesome when you're in the dark in this forest? Relax, it ain't wolves. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the way that I found this tree is in exactly the same way. It is exactly the same feeling when you do meet a tree. And meet a tree is a nature awareness game that we do in the nature awareness courses. And that is where you have a blindfold on and you get led by somebody to a tree in a very random way, and then he will take you away there again, and then you get the assignment to find your tree. And this was not something I had connected with in the same way that you do in the courses, but still I was able to use the same faculties inside to get to this tree. And if you're interested in these kinds of nature-based games, nature awareness games, there is a book. My friend Jeffrey McMullen, he wrote 2 books now, and we sell them on our website, and he sells them, of course, on his website, which is pathfinderuk.com. I will put a link in the movie for that. And the books are called Discover Nature Awareness, DNA. And they contain lots and lots of games that you can play out in the nature to develop your nature awareness. And it works great with kids. It works great with adults. Jeffrey uses these kind of things in his his business for doing wilderness therapy. He treats addictions and stuff like that. And also we do it in the tracking courses, because things like meet a tree and so on, that they hone these internal faculties and skills that you need for tracking. So I think actually I will try to find my way home. But I will sit here a moment, enjoy the silence. That's another thing that's in the book, sit spot. Great way to relax and get in tune with your environments. Before I forget to say that, of course, you should be very careful, but just wandering out into the wilderness in the middle of night with no light and no navigation aids or anything like that. It's never a good idea to wander about in the forest in the middle of night. You have animals, you have all kinds of dangers. On the other hand, I did do it, and it's pretty awesome, so it's a bit dual there. I'm going to say that. Don't do it, but it's awesome. It's a bit... That doesn't really work, eh? Right, so this is the road again, the road where I started. And that way there is where I live. Right. Well, there's my house, guys. That's where I live. Well, it's been really exciting, and I'll see you all in the next movie, guys. Bye bye. Sleep well.